All right, good?
We're good.
All right.
We're good.
Keagan, episode 1. Thanks for coming on.
Of course, starting us off strong.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Tim.
All right, I think we got to start off with the most important topic of the moment, UVA sports. It's a pretty exciting time.
It is. Yeah, it is. It's much different from when I was a first and second year. So,
Okay.
Yeah, way different. We're starting us off with a fun fact already. We're the only school to be ranked in baseball, basketball, and football.
No way.
Yeah.
This year?
This year in the country, currently. Yeah.
Currently in the country?
Yeah, so we finished ranked in football and then currently ranked in baseball and basketball. So yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
So that seems like it's fair games to say UVA is the number 1 sports school in the country. Is that right?
We're in everything school. yeah. You can put it that way. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Nope, not bad at all.
But sounds like a far cry from your freshman year, your first year.
Yeah, definitely. We've been blessed this year. If you told me that we were back here, number 9 in the country in basketball and playing in the ACC championship in football and things like that, no way. I would have said no way. But yeah,
no way.
It's been a great year. So.
Yeah, that's what everyone was telling me, because you know how I moved just this past summer, and then they were like, "Don't get your hopes up about UVA football."
Yeah,
basketball was good, but things are on the decline. And man, this year it's been exciting.
It has been. Yeah, it's been great. Been at pretty much every home game. So yeah, for across a lot of sports and even trying out going to lacrosse and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
So March Madness is about to kick off, and I know the right answer is UVA is going to win it all. But realistically, what is your take on the basketball team's chances this March?
Yeah. Well, I hope we make it further than Duke. That's for sure. I don't think Duke's going to make it very far. But I think the furthest we could get is the Elite Eight. I'd be pretty surprised about a Final Four appearance. But then again, I've been surprised about everything else this year, so it wouldn't be that too far off. But I think Sweet 16, Elite 8, around there. The bracket released on Sunday, and we have a pretty favorable run to that part of March. So
yeah. I am tempted to continue talking about sports.
I think we could see.
We could take a whole hour.
Yeah.
Man, because when I went to the the Wake Forest game, I think the thing that I was really surprised by was how much they play like a team.
Yeah.
It's not like NBA superstar ball where you give one guy the ball, but you kind of don't know who's going to have a game, and maybe multiple guys will have a game. And the defense is, it's like built on the defense. I feel like, so there's always a chance.
Yeah. People didn't really know what was going to happen with the new coach, with Coach Odom, but he brought in pretty much a ton of guys that were new, and they play like a team, and they still play very defensively, which is what Tony Bennett kind of instilled in Virginia basketball originally. It's been really cool to see how their new team, but also still a bit of the same of the old Tony Bennett, and how it could be anyone's day, any game really. So yeah,
great coach,
really good stuff.
Kind of looks like Bilbo Baggins.
I had no comment. No comment.
Great coach.
Yeah.
That'll go on the record, so we don't want to have that. All right, so your 4th year as your it's almost over. That's crazy.
Yeah, home stretch.
How you feeling? Any words about that?
Feeling good. Also feeling a little anxious. I've been in Charlottesville for a while, and a part of me does want to stay, but the other part's like, man, I've been in school here for a while in Charlottesville, so excited for what's next. But I'm gonna miss it for sure. So
yeah. If you remember way back, the whole journey here 4 years ago, I guess. What brought you here? Like, how did you end up at UVA?
Yeah. My story is very, very weird. So I went to high school in Crozet, over in Western, and I kind of saw everyone else at Western go to UVA. You know, a lot of people want to come here, rightfully so, that are local. But I was a little arrogant, and I wanted to go as far away as possible. So I was actually set to go to USC, University of Southern California.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I applied here, of course, but I applied to a ton of other state schools. But I had my deposit down at USC. I had found a roommate. I had a place to live there.
You're serious?
The whole shebang. Yeah. And decided May 1st, whatever. Right. Like I pretty much graduated thinking I was going to go to USC, and then the reality of loans hit. Right. Even with a scholarship there, it was still a lot. Private education's a lot, and the reality of flying back and forth is a lot. So we just, as a family, kind of sat down and was like, hey, this is what you would be kind of bearing, right? And I thought more about it. I kind of had to grow up a little bit and was like, don't want to leave my mom in this position, don't want to leave myself in this position in 4 years. And I was offered the Year in Wise program, which is a 1 year in Wise, Virginia, at their sister school, sort of. And then you can transfer to Virginia. And I called them in July, like pretty much a month before move-in.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, do you have a spot?
Yep.
And they said yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I went from thinking I was going to live the LA life to middle of nowhere, Wise, Virginia. And that's how I ended up here. I, kind of opted for the much more cheaper option, the best value, really, that would still put me here in Charlottesville at UVA ultimately. And that's how I ended up here at UVA after my first year there. I just transferred right in, and I've been here for the past 3 years. So, yeah.
I know it's going to be a little bit of a hot take, but I think you ended up at the better school.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, young, naive 18-year-old. I just
number one sports school in the country.
Yeah, exactly. As I topped us off with, gosh, yeah.
Yeah, but I can imagine, 17, 18-year-old Keagan in that moment, especially, USC is an exciting school, California. I lived in LA for a few years, especially when like finances are kind of the driving thing. It must have been a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, it was super humbling. Yeah, really, really humbling. Just because, I'm doing all the research into USC, like I said, where I'm going to live. I was like buying merch and stuff like that. Like I was fully headed there. And then I went somewhere where I didn't even know where Wise was on a map. Right.
I don't know where Wise is.
Exactly. So it's like, wow. Obviously super, super grateful. I think they only invite around like 100 students to do the program.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not open to everyone, right? Like everyone who gets deferred or whatever isn't offered it. But anyways, and so I just remember that first day, that move-in day, pulling in, and it's like, where am I? That kind of thing. I was like, wow. You're just out there in the mountains, and it's like the typical first year college experience. Get dropped off. It's like, what now? Like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
But it definitely was intensified because I thought I would be somewhere completely different, and I was in a place that I didn't really want to be. But it all worked out. So yeah, for sure.
What was that experience like? Was it kind of just hold your breath for a year and kind of plow through, put your head down, do well at school, and I'll just make it through for a year, it's not forever, that kind of thing? Or is it,
pretty much it was just holding on. It's, school was hard there, which was also a surprise, just because it was at a much smaller school. I thought things were going to be easy, but I was hit with like the typical, like I said, first year of college, it's like, you bomb your first exam, it's like, oh shoot, like I got to learn how to be a college student. Yeah. I had that same experience there, that kind of thing. And so I was just holding on grade wise and doing really well in school. And then I was fortunate where I had a roommate there who was also coming to UVA. So he was in the same cohort. And so it was just me and him just getting through that year, and looking forward to UVA. And while I was there, I was also proactive in like getting involved, and so I was reaching out to different clubs at UVA ahead of time, just to see that way the transition would be a little easier. But it was a lot of just light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Looking towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could imagine.
Yeah. So.
And then, so it's 1 year.
It's 1 year. Yeah.
1 year.
Just 1 year. You don't even have to apply. Just it's like a 3.5 and.
Oh, automatic.
Automatic. Yeah. Like the spring semester ended and UVA sent me an acceptance letter.
Wow.
Like that. So.
That's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. Very, very cheap too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you make it here.
Mm-hmm.
And then how was that?
I was much more excited, right? I was back. My mindset had completely shifted from like wanting to be as far away as possible to like, man, I'm so glad that I'm here, back with other friends from high school, and being at a place that was a little more familiar. And yeah, I was just kind of getting my bearings, but also looking ahead to my next 3 years, different things I could be involved in, things like that, how I could best invest my time over the next 3 years. It was a little difficult at first because I had this notion as a transfer that everyone kind of already knew each other. They had already established their friend groups.
Yeah.
So I think that was one obstacle, kind of something in my mind that I had to get over. And it didn't help that I was local. So I already knew a handful of people that were at UVA.
Yeah.
So I kind of told myself like, I'm good if I just know them. Like I don't really need to meet any more people, because I told myself it was going to be hard as a transfer. So yeah, it was a little harder at first, but I was also excited to be back at UVA, and in Charlottesville.
Were you in the dorms that second year?
Nope. Yeah, straight to apartment.
Straight to apartment.
Yeah, apartments off grounds. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And then how about the since we're on the topic, the academic transition, was that pretty like what you expected?
A little bit, but I was fortunate at Wise. I mean, my professors were really, really good. They like really pushed me and they showed me what a college level academics are. And while UVA is, it's outstanding for its academics, I think they set me up pretty well. And so I came in and I was like, all right, I know I'm going to need to step it up a little bit. And there wasn't really that bump or that like noticeable change because I was prepared. I feel like they prepared me pretty well. They prepared everyone who was there very well. So yeah.
Yeah. I think in a recent UVA magazine, there was an article titled like a wise decision. Yeah. Kind of highlighted that whole.
My mom got a kick.
Oh,
out
you
of
saw
that.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought of you on that one. Okay, and then where in the picture? Okay, maybe we can so we kind of got the academic perspective, that whole thing. Like, how about God, church, Christianity? Like, kind of where was that? What did that look like before college? Going into this whole transition to multiple schools. How was that for you?
Yeah. So I guess to give a picture, I'll just start in the beginning. Growing up in Indiana, small town Indiana, I wasn't really raised in church. It was more of like a childcare thing for us. So I was in Sunday school or, different Bible camps and things like that throughout the summer, but it was more of like a means of childcare. My family wasn't super involved. And so that's kind of the starting point. And then we had some family loss that brought us to Virginia, to Crozet. And through that loss, my brother and I were like pretty devastated on both the loss and the move to Virginia because we're leaving all of our closest friends.
Yeah.
So the best way I remember it is I didn't take a lot from Sunday school and things like that, but I just remembered I remembered about prayer, right? And so even though I was kind of in this position where I thought it was the end of the world, I was kind of like resenting God in a way. My one prayer was for friends. I really wanted friends, my brother and I both. heading into Virginia because we were losing everyone, and we were just scared about a new place. So that prayer was answered pretty quickly as we pulled in to our house. Our next door neighbor, Parker, was standing outside, and he became a close friend for us. And how this connects to kind of Christianity as a whole is that one of the days we went over to his house to hang out with him, and his mom said he was at a Young Life Club, which is just another youth group, right?
Yep.
And we were like, well, if Parker's there, we have to be there, that kind of thing. Wow. We're like, we don't know what this is all about, but he's really cool. We want to be good friends with him. And so we went a couple weeks after that, kind of just started going ever since from there. Really admired our youth mentor there, Joe Nelson, and kind of just that's the way that we got plugged in. Heard the gospel at a lot more clearly at North Bay, which we've been to.
Yeah, the retreat site.
Mm-hmm. And did basically surrendered my life to Christ there when I was 15 or so, and from there just stayed plugged in with Young Life. Yeah. And so I led middle school guys when I was in high school.
Really?
So that lasted from about 6th grade all the way through high school, just being plugged in with that ministry and that youth group.
Yeah.
That was my brother and I both, and that's how we met a lot of our closest friends, and how I kind of started in my relationship with Christ was with that youth group and in that fellowship.
Wow, praise God for Young Life.
Yeah, really. And coming into college, though, I was looking for something else. Around college students, a big portion of Young Life is leading, so I would have been around a lot of high school, middle school aged students, but I wanted something more college aged, something weekly, just like a Bible study or weekly gatherings, things like that. And so I found a flyer in Newcomb one day that led me to Axiom. I got connected with the judge.
You found a flyer?
I found a flyer.
Like on the ground?
No, it was on a billboard.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. On the wall, like on a billboard. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just got connected with Judge from there, and we had a coffee chat. I don't know, a couple days later, and he strategically placed it on a day where he was having something at his house. So it was one of those like, oh, by the way, we're having this tonight. Do you want to come?
Oh yeah, you saw what he was doing there.
So that put me in a corner of like, oh shoot, I gotta say yes. So I said yes, and it turned into kind of what I was like really looking for, just a place of people that What struck me the most was everyone knew each other's names. Everyone was really friends there.
Yeah.
Like, they really cared for each other there. They were they genuinely knew each other. That was my first semester of second year. So Wise was a bit of a gap.
Yeah.
Of like, I wasn't really involved in anything really.
Yeah.
I would just go to kind of church on Sundays there, just like by myself. It wasn't like it was a period of lack of growth or anything, but I was just, like I said, looking forward to UVA where I could plug back in. And Axiom was that for me, for sure. Got, like I said, plugged in my fall semester, second year, and it was what I was looking for, just a fellowship, college fellowship, where I was able to connect with other college students, and they were strong mentors there. That's what I admired out of Young Life was older mentors that were able to guide me in my faith, and it was just a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I bet that amazing experience you had at Young Life kind of prepared you for college to be able to kind of look for certain things and appreciate certain things that maybe without Young Life you would not have been able to kind of notice and see potentially.
Yeah, for sure. Just because I was fortunate. There were some people, a set group of people who we started in middle school and high school with in Young Life that I was just friends with throughout the whole course. And so I was like, this is something that I would want in a college setting too. Just people that I know throughout that duration and I can walk with together in my faith. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really neat how God answered. Were you like 14-year-old? How old were you when you did the prayer?
13.
13.
Yeah, I was
13-year-old's prayer.
Yeah, I was just like super upset, super angry. My brother and I were throwing fits at our mom.
Yeah,
and,
I could
like,
imagine.
the only thing that I wanted was friends.
Yeah.
And that was like the only thing I was praying for was just give us some friends.
Yeah.
You know.
And somehow God gave you a double blessing.
Yes.
Through that one prayer.
One prayer. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And somehow it led you to Judge,
Mm-hmm.
and you made it to Axiom. Okay, this is kind of a spicy question.
Mm-hmm.
If Judge was Asian, would you have stayed?
Yes. Yes. You know, I don't
I was
know.
just curious.
Yeah. You know, Judge was the first person that's the you know, that's who I got connected to through the forum. So I don't know if it was a strategic placement of Judge and no other mentors to come and meet me that day, but
It was probably random.
Yeah.
Probably just.
No, yeah, I would have said yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, that second year, fall semester, you get plugged into Axiom, and then you're kind of going. So what? Tell me. This is where, like, I have zero perspective on. I have my guesses, but like, what's it like being a Christian at UVA?
Yeah.
Like someone who believes in Jesus, goes to church. Is that hard, easy? What are some of the kind of UVA cultural stuff that impacts that?
Yeah, it's hard. I think the DT from the other day, honestly, like connects well with this question because it's hard. Like I said, I have a lot of friends from that are local from high school that are here that aren't Christians. And I'm still, you know, good friends with them. But then I also have my Christian friends, and life looks a little differently between the two. And it can be hard. Obviously, it's much easier if you're surrounding yourself with other believers, and so like being around Axiom made things a little easier. But it's harder when you see, like here at UVA, there can be a big culture of tapping out from like Thursday to Saturday, that kind of thing. Like, just, you know, people are going out. There's all kinds of things going on. And that can be a little tempting, right, at times.
The activity around the corner, is that what you're saying?
Yes, all the festivities around the corner. But in the same token, like I mentioned, the DT the other day, you kind of feel for them too, right? You know, as a Christian, we kind of feel for them and how they're living. So it can be tough from that perspective and wanting to share our faith and things like that. But it definitely is a lot easier when you surround yourself with those like-minded people who want to walk with you and who just want to, like, you know, live life together with. But it can definitely be challenging. I feel like it's possible, but you could really live two different lives, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so you just have to be intentional with which one you want to pick, and not being in between the two, if that makes sense. You know, you want to be on one side.
You're talking about like being on the fence and you have one foot on both sides.
Yeah.
And you're kind of it's not like split personality, but like split. Your heart is invested in two very different
things,
lifestyles.
yeah.
And then I can imagine particularly at UVA, such a strong party culture that probably goes hundreds of years back. I don't know.
That's where Wahoo's comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
The drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole culture, the frat and sororities and everything. Man. So, okay. So then that's one of the challenges. So you're about to graduate. What made you stick with Axiom? Like for your undergrad?
Yeah. I would say it's been mostly the people, and one of the things that, like I said, that struck me when I first came was at Judges we would hang out every Friday, just like the weekly meetings and things like that. And again, it was, you know, everyone really knew each other. Everyone was invested in each other. Like, I'd never been to a place where when I walked into the room, people, you know, everyone was greeting me, that kind of thing. And when I left, people said goodbye. Like, it was, everyone wanted to know me. They took time out of their day to get to know me. And I found that to be really interesting. Like, even in young life, it wasn't necessarily like that. It was only a couple of people here and there. So I found that to be really, really cool. And I wanted that for myself too. That's how I want to treat others that way. So I stuck with Axiom in part because of that, but also in part because of the mentors. I've always admired older mentors in my life, especially those who can show me how to best walk with God. And there's just, there's a lot of you guys here, right? And that's awesome. That's awesome. It's a resource that in other ministries, it's not really there. There's probably maybe one or two for the whole guys or for the whole girls, things like that. And that's a very, very good resource for us as students to be able to look to you guys, to be able to learn from your own college experience, and to be able to lean on you guys for also the knowledge and the wisdom and things like that. So kind of in part those two, and that's played out practically through things like Noblemen, weekly meetings with those guys, getting to really know guys on a much deeper level, and also having mentors there to guide us and to walk us through our own faith, our own walk with Christ. And that's other different life groups that we've had and things like that. And then it's just really fun to hang out with everyone on whatever it is, a monthly, weekly basis, things like that. I've just really enjoyed the people here, both the students and the mentors, and how it's, everyone's after one common mission and one common goal. And so, yeah, it's really pushed me to grow. And
Yeah. Wow. Feel appreciated.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really neat how I think even from my end, from kind of the mentor's perspective, there's kind of a balance where feel like, because I know what you mean. When I was an undergrad, that was the same for me.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted, I really appreciated a spiritual mentor that was a good few steps ahead of me.
Yeah.
That struggled with the same things I struggled with, and figured out ways to live out the Bible in the modern context, and smartphones and relationships and in college and what that looked like and everything. At the same time, I one of the things that kind of balances giving a lot more ownership to because now there's two groups of people and everything, so that's part of it. But thankful for that whole history and everything. If you were to look back on, looking back now, if there's one thing you did right, you're like, I don't know if I did everything right, but there's one thing I did right. And I would tell young 18-year-old Keagan, make sure you do that again, throughout your 4 years in college. What would that be?
Just saying yes. Yeah, just saying yes. Even though I was looking for something coming in that second year for, another ministry that kind of mimicked what I had in high school, when a judge asked me that question of, oh, do you want to hang out, whatever, I was still on the fence, right? I didn't know whether to say yes or no. And I'm just very glad I said yes. And that has played out through my whole college experience, right? I can kind of pick out different times where I've said no versus where I've said yes. And even now, in my fourth year, as time's winding down, I'm just saying yes to everything, right? Just saying yes. Noblemen, right? Saying yes. Just different events and commitments and experiences. It's very hard to say no as a UVA student. You're tackling so many credits. I'm working, I've worked so many semesters. I have other extracurricular commitments, and leadership positions, whatever, right? So it's very, very easy to say no. But I'm glad that I've said yes. And that's both to, just here at UVA, but also my spiritual walk with Christ. I've said yes to things, and I've made different commitments, and steps of faith. Even going all the way back to Wise, right? That's me saying no to like USC and this LA kind of experience to yes, like I'll go to Wise, right? I'll go here, I'll save the money, and I'll come to UVA, right? Which is, the better school, really. But yeah, I'm just glad I've said yes. And so that's kind of one thing that I'm glad I've done. And honestly, I wish I would do more. Like that's still a piece of advice I'd have is to just say yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you say just say yes, are you saying like there's kind of like what makes it hard to say yes? Yes, because that's where it is, right? Otherwise, everyone would be saying yes.
Yeah, just the distraction, and sometimes things feel like a lot, commitment wise, time wise. That used to be a lot of what I factored in. Going back to Young Life, right? I didn't want to be a part of Young Life because I thought it was too much time to lead. That was way too much time. My first semester here at UVA, I didn't want to pour in all that time to lead and to be a part of that. I wanted something that was less time. And it's weird how it worked out because, I end up here and I've just said yes to a lot of things. I've poured in my time. But yeah, that's what makes it so hard is because just looking at the commitment, looking at the time, and then looking at the other things in your life as a student. Like I said, the classes and different things that UVA students can tackle. Everyone is very, very passionate. Jobs, career, things like that. And that can kind of come in the way of things like Axiom and different fellowships, ministries, and especially, or most importantly, their walk with God. So, yeah.
Would you say it's like saving your yes for like you're kind of holding out to me? I don't want to prematurely give my yes to something because I want to make sure it's the right thing. Or is it more like I said yes to too many things and I don't have any more yeses to give, but I should have given my yes to this other thing that I didn't really value in the moment? But is it kind of like that, or is it kind of like the other one? Or maybe something else?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of both. I think it's mostly the first one is at least how I felt. I think how a lot of other students feel is, what's on most people's minds is school and their career. And
which makes sense.
Yeah, which makes sense. Makes plenty of sense. That's been on my mind for a while too. But when that dominates other things, it's not good. And so I think a lot of people will say, I need to say yes to these things now. And when I'm down the line, 5 years in my career, or even when I'm out of school, right, I can say yes to that then. And so delaying it, thinking that they'll have the time later on to say yes. But, so.
Yeah, it's, I'm going to sound like an old man, but like back in my day, no, I feel like something's changed tangibly, like that experience. I mean, people are always very ambitious, but I had no, like, I felt no pressure to join any clubs. I felt like if I joined too many clubs when I was an undergrad, it was actually a little weird. Like I'm like trying too hard,
Yeah.
But nowadays
it's honored.
Yeah. It's like a badge of honor. I think it has something to do with, I mean, you could blame everything on social media, but like just the visibility and the amount of like the globalization, competitiveness, the like everyone giving their 2 cents of advice on like how to maximize. And then, it's going to be about school and career.
Yeah.
People get into endless like research about this professor or that professor, or like, should I take this class in the fall or the spring? And, of course it does make a difference.
Yeah.
But, if college is the time you're going to make your lifelong friends, that's also a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And also college is the time to like figure out your life. Did you feel that? Like college is the time to make your lifelong friends, figure out your life, set the trajectory to your life, answer these big questions. Like, people say that's what college is for,
Yeah.
but is that how you felt?
I think so. I think that came from probably a bit from my mom, just because a lot happened in her college experience. Like a lot of her life was set kind of in college, and she told me, this is the best 4 years of your life. There's not another time like this, right? And so I would say so, right? Like my first semester at Wise, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do post college, just from the get go. I wasn't more lackadaisical. Oh, I'll figure it out. It'll come to me later. It was a lot of, I need to figure it out. I need to figure it out now, that kind of thing. So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Last couple questions here. If you could do college all over again. So we did the whole, like, what's one thing you did right? But maybe, like, if you could do it all over again, what would you want to do differently? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh man. I think again I had, coming into college, like I said, I think I was in a good spot where I prioritized wanting to be in college ministry and a fellowship, but what really dominated my mind was grades, right? I kind of knew early on, like I said, I was going to be doing a master's, so I needed to do really well in my classes, and that took up a lot of my time in those first 2 years. I wasn't really saying yes in those first 2 years, and leading into that third year, I was saying no to a lot of things because I thought the next exam I had was it held the weight of the world, that kind of thing. And looking back, it's like, man, it is very important to do well, or it is important to do well, but in the moment, it's also so trivial, right? There's just so much more to experience, and again, it all kind of comes down to how you manage your time and your priorities. So I think going back, I would have held honestly a little less weight into those grades. I did just fine. I was plenty good, but I was a little too good, right? Like I could have let loose a little more, and that would have given me some more experiences, and I probably would have grew a little bit more in that time. So yeah, it's very hard to do that in the moment, in that first and second year, when you want to set yourself up well and for success, whether it's like internships, right? Getting an internship, working hard for an internship, or if it's like grad school, whatever, right? It's hard to do that in the moment. But that's one thing I wish I would have done, is to kind of not be so uptight with that aspect, because I was.
Stress is real.
Yeah. So
one thing I've kind of noticed, and I have limited perspective because I've only been here less than a year now, but I feel like the fourth years, you guys really came together.
Yeah, we did
this year
for sure.
Was it this year?
Yeah.
I wonder if those two are related.
Yeah,
is what I was going to ask. Like, I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, 100%. Because now I'm at a point where it's coasting. I'm doing. Yeah, it's not like I'm doing the bare minimum, but right, like I kind of am.
You've kind of figured things out.
I figured things out, right, and I kind of know how much time needs to go into this, and how much time I can allot to other things that are important to me, and I think that struck everyone. That's kind of struck everyone else too, right? I think a lot of us were, or at least a few of us were, like I was in first and second year, and even into third year, where these things were super, super important to us. But now we all kind of got it, right? We all kind of get it, and so that's how we've all kind of came together in this fourth year, and that's
that's really neat.
Yeah.
And then you get to have these really amazing experiences, like guys went down to Charlotte, watched the ACC championship game, both of them, the football and the basketball game. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Should have won the basketball game.
I know.
Actually, and the football game too. But,
but
that's for another time. But yeah, man. I guess, I'm reading into what you're saying, but
Mhm.
like if that were to happen, second year maybe,
Mm-hmm.
then you'd have more
time. Yeah.
with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's kind of, we've all kind of gelled together this year. You know, some of us have been close in years past, but it's really this year where we've all, like I said, we've kind of figured it out. You know, we realize that we're not going to be here for forever, and it's, you know, it's important to work hard, but it's also so many other things are important right here, right now in college with the time that we have left, and that's spending time together, and that's pushing each other to grow in our faith, and just walking, living life together, really. So yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap up, but one last question. Say Braden, I don't know who's going to be next,
Mhm.
episode 2, but we'll do this thing. I saw this in another podcast.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
What's a question? I guess you don't know who's coming next. It could be.
Oh, I guess
It could
you're
be
right.
anybody.
Yeah.
We could schedule Liv. It doesn't. We don't know who's coming next.
Hmm.
But what's a question that you want them to answer?
Yeah. The one that I wrote was I want to hear about their most humbling experience they've ever had at UVA.
Oh wow, you're
Yes.
going for it. You're going for it.
Yeah.
The most humbling. Basically, you want to hear the disaster story.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. We'll see. We'll see who gets that question. Then.
Okay. Sweet.
All right. Thanks,
Awesome.
man.
Yeah, thanks,
Appreciate you
Tim.
coming on.
Thank you.
Episode number 1.
Number 1, starting us off strong.
Yeah.
Only down from here.